UK scene is being rocked by dual controversies. When we got to address it. So the first one is this story that broke last week. What day was it? The 4th. So about 4 days ago, which would have been what? Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. I can't tell time. So last Wednesday, news broke that the Oriental Wrestling Entertainment operation was in a bit of an issue because way back in, I want to say June, they announced that they were going to be partnering with local British promotions to launch OWE United Kingdom, which would have featured the high-flying action of Oriental Wrestling Entertainment, but in the United Kingdom, specifically where they were going to be training UK wrestlers to wrestle in their style, because OWE understands that in order to have broad mainstream appeal globally, you need to have global talent. So this made sense all across the board. Things hadn't gotten started really. There was a tour booked. However, things transpired that as of right now, I should have really checked before we went on the air to see if there were any updates. But last I checked, there was no updates, and I think that was Friday night. Basically, the UK promotions, because it was a couple different promoters that were handling OWE UK, disappeared. They were unable to be contacted. They couldn't be reached as plans were coming together. And then overnight, everything fell apart. Apparently, let me see if I can find the right stuff. The head of the UK side of things for OWE, Ben Auld. Actually, no, I think this is a completely different part of this. Ben Auld is part of a different promotion. Let me scroll down a little further. Okay, here we go. I'm going to read this verbatim as I wrote it. Hopefully I didn't fuck this up. In a quote tweet from Senior Vice President Sean McMahon of the OWE side, the OWE UK side of things. There we go. Sean McMahon said, I have submitted my formal immediate resignation as Director and Head of Marketing of Martialism, Sport and Culture Communication UK LDT, trading as OWE United Kingdom. I have decided to resign as director due to what I feel is misconduct of the director and OWE China. I find this to be totally unacceptable, damaging to the industry and reputation of all who have committed themselves to ensure the tour would have been a success. The company will be required to either continue with the tour themselves with Joe Apta or myself, or make other arrangements. Basically, OWE had said that they were uninformed of what was going on. Their quote was, OWE were shocked to learn that the planned UK tour has been delayed. While we partnered with a UK promoter to use OWE in the UK, we've been unable to reach them for several days. We also have no access to any OWE UK social media. Full statement will be reached shortly. I guess I'll open up to see if there's been any update on that. The OWE UK Twitter account was owned and operated by the UK personnel, and they deleted the Twitter. Thus making it impossible for anyone to access that. It looks like OWE has censored the original tweet, though. Let's just see what they have on otherwise. Marcus, this obviously isn't a good look for OWE with their partnership with they get for them, but as of right now, I don't know if there's anything good to be talked about with any other promotions outside of China. Here's an update from the 5th. Dear UK fans, deeply sorry for the delaying. It was down to a major scheduling conflict. Who has tickets requires a reach on email at info@orientalwrestlingentertainment.com of our UK partner. Endeavor to process this over this next week. So it's a booking issue. Not sure why. These kinds of things don't ever really get released to the public. Marcus, hearing this first from the UK, and we have 2 more to go, because it's going to be one of them dead. What's your takeaway? Do you feel this hurt OWE?
Yeah, because, the game right now in terms of, obviously, with people for a reason, obviously collaborating in the raise both foundations and notoriety of both companies, but the name of the game for EW right now is momentum. And that puts a bad name on stuff, specifically when we talk about fans putting in money and having expectations, and then you said the guys that was behind it ran out on everything.
Yeah, and to clarify, the quote that Sean McMahon said about misconduct had to do with broken promises, I believe is what he said. So it wasn't even technically misconduct. Broken promises. So there was a scheduling issue that is deemed a broken promise or some nonsense. It's petty as fuck, is what it is.
Yeah, that's not good. Um, like I said, because people that I'm sure people want AEW to partner with, and it would probably be very beneficial. I think we talked about before with Impact and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But also they're trying to hit, like you said, those international markets early, because there is no conversation in terms of competing with WWE on a business level. It's just not global in every sense of the word. So them doing this was a I think good first step. But when the other company kind of falls like that, it not only is bad business, but it kind of makes AEW in a way like not really want to work with any. Kind of dims their light on terms of working with somebody as quickly as they would have had this gone through the other way. So kind of hurts the UK scene, also hurt that company, and probably damaged the idea that AEW had of reaching out.
Yeah, and it also probably hurts the UK scene beyond just specific tour, mostly because now it affects um, the notoriety and reputation of those involved on the UK side of things. Because for them to just kind of cut and run like that in the middle of the night, it seems like super
Yeah,
sketchy. Super
yeah.
sketchy.
Seemed like kind of came up like a pyramid scheme or something.
But we have another story from the UK. This one isn't as bad. It's kind of a palate cleanser for the next one. But a UK promotion that's been around for almost a decade has closed its doors. A promotion that was actually covered for a little while on our website by our only female staffer that we've had in the last six. We should probably diversify a little bit more. Southside Wrestling has announced that they are closing their doors and selling off all their stuff. Pro. We'll get to RevPro in a moment. Don't worry. RevPro is one of the stronger indies. It's them and Progress that I would say are the two biggest names in UK wrestling. But Progress is now kind of co-owned. Not co-owned, but they're on the teat of the WWE. So they're just all kinds of tainted now. And a lot of the talent there are being signed to exclusive talents. People in the backstage area are being signed to NXT UK. So Progress is on its last legs, in my opinion. A lot of the things that made Progress really cool are gone. It used to be punk rock, now it's corporate rock. Good job. You went from, you know, Bad Religion to Nickelback. Congratulations. That's how you fucked up. But Rev Pro is still pretty strong. They have their partnership with New Japan really helps them out. They constantly get New Japan talent in the area. They send talent to New Japan. The Aussie Open just wrestled at the the Royal Quest show from a couple weeks back with New Japan, and they're out of Rev Pro. So there's a lot of talent there that people know. It's sad that it's happening, but it seems to come down to a financial issue. But Southside was arguably a B level tier promotion in the UK, so this is going to hurt a lot of talent who are not looking to wrestle for the NXT UK. And let's be honest, I don't know how much spots there are on that side of the promotion anymore for the NXT side of the UK thing. So this could be really damaging to the industry in the United Kingdom, which is something that we predicted it was going to happen. As soon as this, as soon as NXT UK came in, we knew that this was going to be a problem. We knew that there was going to be people who were going to be out of jobs. We knew that there was going to be promotions that were shut down. And I think this is the third one in a span of a year. Plus the inability to get World of Sports up and running for a second season seems to be now a casualty of NXT UK. So all around, it's just not a good time to be an NXT UK wrestler, thanks in part to the WWE, because they ruin everything. Marcus, a UK Fed has fallen. Do you think the blame on NXT UK is fair?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the plan, though. Like you say, it kind of feels like Progress is kind of, taken out of their own identity and basically turned into a gigantic feeder system um, for WWE in that regard. And also, you come in with the notion of partnership, but then it quickly devolves into, no, well, they're clearly just kind of using you with the guise of a partnership. But yeah, I would say so. I mean, but I mean, it's almost like a natural thing because, like I said, there's so many guys that just grew up on WWE, and no matter the state of the company as we know it to be creatively right now, um, they still want to be there. And we see it all the time with US guys, but that happens with the UK scene too. But it's easy because the UK scene was like at its peak, what it like seemed like a couple years ago,
Yeah.
and now it's slowly going because we're seeing the influx, like you call like NXT, regular NXT, NXT, and that's kind of what it's becoming for the UK scene. Like they put on a hell of a show with that takeover at Cardiff. But that's again showing you basically the UK version of what they're doing with NXT. So, but again, it's the I guess the big fish play little fish type of mentality. But that's the idea though. We called it years before it happened. Vince wanted to kill the Indies. Now Triple H is, I guess, doing it. I guess on a sleeker scale, but still doing it in a way. So, it's a conglomerate. The whole thing is to take out the competition, no matter how big or small. So, it's like an unfortunate natural progression. No pun intended.
So this also kind of comes after a early summer, and I'm going to read this verbatim. At main event of Progress Chapter 93, Zach Gibson, one half of the NXT UK Tag Champs, the young veterans with James Drake, emphasized the word conspiracy in a promo where he predicts articulately that he and JD will win the Progress Tag titles that night, which will make Progress match NXT UK with its world champion Walter and tag champions GYV. Relatedly, Bate and Seven hold the OTT Tag Team Championship. James Drake is also champ at Pro Wrestling Chaos. NXT UK contracted superstar Eddie Dennis of Progress 93 at Progress 93 announced he will no longer be appearing at Progress despite having the unfinished business of a title shot he won at Wembley. Voices of Wrestling reports that NXT UK contracted talent may no longer appear on streaming services, which show the dark matches only. Beloved UK referee Chris Roberts announced that he is leaving RevPro UK. His next steps are unknown, though he has refereed NXT UK before for Ono versus Gallagher in episode 45 of NXT UK. UK wrestling promotion Defiant, formerly known as WCPW, Walt Culture Pro Wrestling, has closed its shop. So this is now 3 promotions in 4 months that have closed down. 4 if you want to add World of Sport to it. That's bad. I know the OWE UK promotion hadn't launched yet, but that was still going to be a job-making opportunity. So that's 4 opportunities essentially that are gone now for talent in one summer. Like, goddamn, that's not good. That's not good at all. But Marcus, it gets worse. So 4 promotions have closed down since the start of the spring summer time. And now we have arguably the biggest, most disgusting story to come out of the British UK scene I've ever seen. RevPro, who we just talked about acquiring Southside Wrestling, basically had a tag match that pit the Aussie Open versus Josh Bodom and Shaw Samuels. The winner would go to New Japan's Royal Conquest. Now, I've been hearing all along that Aussie Open was supposed to win the match. Because guess what, folks? Pro wrestling is fake. We know who the winners are before the match starts. We don't, they do. So the right team still won. However, the right team allegedly won about 5 minutes before they were supposed to. In a tag team match that would have sent one of them to New Japan show, the Aussie Open, I don't know who it was, but one of them ended up pinning Josh Bodom early. Bodom didn't kick out. Now, referees are taught, and instructed, treat the match as it's real. The refs don't know the outcomes usually. They know only to or to call for the bell or to separate people on DQs. It's the opponents who are supposed to know the ending. So you're supposed to essentially work the ref. For whatever reason, Josh Bodom doesn't kick out, and a 3 count is administered, ending the match early. Now, we've seen this before. This isn't new. In fact, Cody Rhodes' biggest fucking promo of All In was Ted DiBiase being mad at a botched pinfall. And Ted DiBiase walked through the curtain saying that referee wants to fuck on me. I'm sure we all remember that one. That was great. That was a great Cody Rhodes story. But this time it went bad. The referee in question is Aaron Wilde, and after he counted the pinfall, Shaw Samuels inexplicably slammed him onto the mat without any forewarning. There was no setup for it, there was no instruction, there was no idea that it was happening. He slams him on the mat, does a scoop slam. He lands on his shoulder and on his neck. Shaw Samuels then takes to Twitter, "Hey guys, I tried to protect him. I tried to protect him." Despite the fact that this is a referee, not an active competitor, he's not been taught to bump or take bumps, especially unexpected scoop slams that come from out of nowhere. After the scoop slam, which you could almost be okay with, because at least he's like, listen, he's a referee, he knows how to take some bumps. I didn't know that he didn't know how to take this bump. I apologize. It was supposed to be, for us to extend the time. It wasn't supposed to get him hurt. You could argue that's okay. I don't, but you could. But then Josh Bodum rips Aaron out of the ring and proceeds to physically assault him for real. And if you're watching the stream, you'll actually see the GIF. That GIF, it's actually a video. It's 10 seconds. You can see it right here, actually. Let me scroll up a little bit more. You can see it right here. The referee is legitimately getting his ass kicked. And it takes all of 10 or 11 seconds before someone finally comes over and pulls him off. All right, and now, okay, so, nope, close that. No, we don't want to go through that buffering issue. So Josh pulls Aaron out and wrecks him pretty hardcore. In this kind of case, usually you can go with a suspension and an apology and all things are hunky. Right? But what ended up happening to Aaron, what's Aaron's last name again? Aaron Wilde. What happens to young Aaron Wilde is that he finds out he's unable to referee ever again because of the injuries he sustained in the match. Marcus, it gets worse because it's not just that he's a pro wrestling referee. He makes his living refereeing soccer, which is something he cannot do at all either because of the injuries sustained in this match. Aaron took to Twitter yesterday, early in the morning. I don't know if 8 a.m. is our time or if it's his time, but it's 8 a.m. local time. Said last week at RevPro, I was attacked after the Royal Quest tag match. This was not part of the show. It was not planned. I was grabbed and slammed to the mat by Sam Shaw, and then something happened on the outside. I honestly don't know what. That part was a blur. That was when Bowden attacked him. Bowden? Let me double check. Bodum, like the band, Children of Bodum. Number 2 of the tweet, I don't know why he didn't just do a thread, but whatever. As a result, I have sustained a much more serious than originally thought neck and shoulder injury. That means I am no longer able to referee. I hate to say the term retire. I'll say this. I am indefinitely unable to referee due to medical restrictions. The intended winners, Aussies, still won, albeit 5 minutes quicker on the show than that ran over by over 45 minutes. I am still shocked, upset, and in disbelief why this happened and why it has not been condoned by RevPro and Andy Quidlin. 500 plus matches, one botched ending, that one. I've spent the last 7 to 8 days in my many feelings, anger, sadness, frustration. I truly adored performing as a referee, and now at least for the foreseeable future I am medically able to do so. I truly hope that I can recover to pursue it again. There are many things that can be said about this weekend, but I would prefer not to write an essay of negativity. For now I am unable to football referee my main source of income due to the injury. If you have a few spare pennies, I won't say no, and he sets up his pay account. There is a 6th tweet that has since been deleted. Instead, he replaced that deleted tweet with this comment: the matter of payment has been discussed and sorted between myself and the relevant parties. As promised to them, I will be moving the deleted tweet. I am not looking at mentions, direct messages, etc. I have literally only logged on to do this in response to that specific tweet. Sam Shaw, Marcus, has responded. I am going to this once and that's it. A mistake happened during our last match. As a performer thinking on my feet, I scoop slammed the referee as safely as possible and saying it was a stitch up. I genuinely believed I had done nothing wrong. Actually, I got kicked in the face to the pleasure of the audience for my trouble and hoped that the mistake was forgotten about. All the time I was only concerned about the integrity of the match. We spoke afterwards, he and the referee, and all seemed well. I can only apologize for what happened. I genuinely believed I had done nothing wrong, but have now had my eyes open and educated to the fact that regardless of how safe you are, you should never assume it is okay to get physical with non-wrestling member of the crew on the fly. I guess I have become too comfortable with the way things used to be. Things are different now. I have reached out to Aaron privately and understand if he wants to take his time to get back to me or if he doesn't want to speak to me at all. I wish he had reached out to me privately. He's so victimized, Marcus. I would have never endangered anyone in a professional environment, no matter what the issue. My peers know how safe and professional I am, and can only apologize again to who has been affected. Wasn't meant to share this, but feel I need to protect myself. Here's the slam. You can see I've protected him. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. He shows a slam that shows you that he lands on his head and shoulders, so it's not exactly the perfect defense that he thought it was. Josh Bodum, on the other hand, just went straight delete. Took a page out of Matt Hardy's book. He deleted his Twitter account. RevPro took all the time in the world getting back to us, not us specifically, but to those interested, as they eventually updated with an official statement basically saying, Bodum's been fired, we're not going to work with him again, but we're going to forgive Sam Shaw, and nothing will come of his actions with this, even though Sam Shaw is probably more than likely the one who ended his career. So they're going to punish Bodum, but not Sam Shaw, is essentially what it reads out. Talked about integrity and blah, 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 blah. I guess we could read it. I think it'll be fun to peruse this stupidity that is. Let's see. In light of allegations, not allegations, proven fact, this is something that we were not going to be dragged out, and whilst we have reached this conclusion this morning, it took you 9 days, okay. We have spoken to all parties involved and reviewed all footage and have reached the following conclusion. Whilst we do not condone... See, as soon as you hear whilst we do not condone, you're going to condone it because you're not going to punish him. We are not making excuses for him, nor would he want us to, but after explaining the severe situation, we are confident that Shaw understands that what he did was wrong. Under no circumstances should he have put his hands on a non-wrestler prior to consent. Shaw will undertake an internal disciplinary and will be on zero tolerance should any further incidents occur. Because I believe that shit. Marcus, do you know what bullshit tastes like? Tastes kind of like that. Unfortunately, Bodum's actions do not match, and we've fired him. Fuck it. Obviously, in the light of the Shaw Samuels and Josh Bodum have been stripped of tag titles, because that's what I care about. Storylines. One thing that has been playing in our minds is to look... The one thing that's been playing on our minds is that it took so long for us to realize that there was an issue. Incompetence usually breeds that resolution. Likewise, we would like to encourage any fans to contact us directly when they see something that they're not satisfied with. We did. They did profusely. We've apologized privately and doing so now, blah, blah, blah. So pretty much, it's not really our fault, but it's kind of our fault. We're going to make changes, but it, kind of too little too late. But, oh wait. Marcus, there's still more. So, I'm sure by now you know who David Starr is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not exactly one of our favorites. I've taken to calling David Starr. I was really proud of this. Did I delete it? I hope I didn't delete it. It was a really good insult. Where the fuck is it? Alright, apparently I deleted it. I thought better inside of
This was the guy.
What's that?
Refresh my memory. He was the guy raising. I said, refresh my memory. He was the guy raising the fuss about
Ring of Honor.
Yeah, he was the guy that had cut that promo and then something else happened or something.
Yeah, so David Starr, for those who don't know, runs a quote-unquote wrestler-first clothing brand called We the Independent. It facilitates the idea of a union in wrestling. That's his goal. He does not like WWE. He does not like Ring of Honor. I'm sure, basically positively assured he does not like Impact Wrestling. Probably doesn't like New Japan. Doesn't like anyone that forces talents to sign contracts. He uses the idea of making your own decisions for you, but he's opposed to those who sign contracts, despite the fact he's not. But his entire brand exists in the face of that very ideology. He's a contradiction. He was supposed to wrestle Jay Lethal for the Ring of Honor World title in Israel. David Starr is Jewish. And it was a whole big mess. And if I remember correctly, Starr ended up getting pulled from the show, or Lethal lost the belt, I think is actually what ended up happening. Lethal lost the belt, so Starr wrestled Lethal in a non-title match, which sent David Starr off. He also, without any justification or allowance, besmirched, I can't believe I used that term correctly, the NXT UK title when he basically kicked it and rubbed his feet on it when he was facing Walter in an independent match. So he's got a reputation of just being a shithead. Well, he runs the clothing side of things called We the Independent. It's a brand, and it's just it's a really stupid fucking t-shirt. And Sam Shaw is one of those men that he has on that brand. David Starr has not, at least at the time when I wrote the column earlier this afternoon, had not publicly commented on this. He only retweeted that you should put your hands on a referee. Nothing about punishing Sam Shaw, who I'm sure makes some money off of this brand. The brand itself said that they do not condone the actions, but did not follow up to say anything about it. This Twitter user at RealTalk868 said maybe this is why David Starr and his t-shirt line won't outright take a stand against Sam Shaw's and Josh Adam attacking the RevPro ref. Conflict of interest much. Peace. We the Independent tried to bury or unbury themselves from this debacle. Saw the video that was at this point circling for over a day. David Starr worked the main event of this show, Marcus. David Starr was present when this happened. David Starr was there when this referee was assaulted. Keep that in mind. His brand said, check out the video. Which, this was an event that was at least like a week ago, 10 days ago at this point. So, if he just saw it, that's pretty fucking terrible. Just saw the video. All I heard was a body slam. But this, no. Absolutely egregious, unnecessary, uncalled for. No questions asked. Not okay. I'm so glad that Starr was willing to only act after a video was shown in his face. I'm proud of him for dismissing Sam Shaw's career-ending body slam to the kid. But this is unacceptable. David Starr, pinnacle of wrestler safety. Oh, I didn't delete it. I'm going to read it verbatim because this made me laugh. So, a man had to retire from his real-world work because two men didn't know how to handle a situation like men. What will Starr, the socialist of the squared circle, do to make things right? Will he donate the entire year's worth of earnings for the brand he runs to pay for this referee's bills? Now that would truly be an independent idea. That might be my favorite 4 sentences I've ever written in my life. Because it's just such a body blow. It's a liver shot in an MMA fight. Like, you could see him clutching his gut going, oh, that hurt. Because he's not going to do shit. He doesn't care. David Starr is using pro wrestlers to fund his own bank account. If you think differently, you're being bamboozled and hoodwinked.